who decided that. Greg, what do you like?
I know it doesn't feel right that Patrick Mahomes is an underdog. He's nobody's underdog. And yet I'm taking the Bills in this game 30-27. When I thought about that last game, really the last two games that these two teams have played, I thought about the pass rush that the Bills didn't have in the AFC Championship. It was the defense that sent Sean McDermott in this Bills defense home. They brought in Von Miller, and that's changed their defense, I think, as much as any defense in the league. They were already good. Now they're great, but the other guys around them have stepped up. They're healthier. Ed Oliver is back. Jordan Phillips is expected to play this week. Greg Rousseau has been awesome. And to me, when you look at the Chiefs and what they did against the Raiders on Monday night, not protecting Mahomes in the first half, I don't think they'll protect him. I think that's the difference in me.
Wait, so what happened to Mahomes in that game on Monday night?
They won that game 30-29, but he got sacked a lot in the first half against Max Crosby.
And then what happened?
And then he came back and won.
And then
against the 1-3 Raiders.
Travis.
I'm not, look, this one is as close as they come. In my model, it's like 51.7% or something crazy like that. But it does give Patrick Mahomes, first time ever as a home dog. I don't even understand that. 27-26. Now look at this matchup. It's those Travis Kelce new looks that are really what's changing things. Shorter passes, new alignments. We've seen him literally be in different spots every single game, and they're different looks. I love Leslie Frazier. I think he's a genius when it comes to scheming for Patrick Mahomes in particular. But holy smokes, I think that one's going to be a little bit hard because Andy Reid, also a genius, and Travis Kelce, also really impactful.
Also very talented at
like you're directing this directly at me, and I don't like
it.
it.
She is yelling at you and pointing at you. I know you guys are
I
seeing
think
footage,
she knows
but
that I got off my Chiefs pick. I flipped it at the last second. I'm
she's
sorry.
bullying.
It worked.
I'm a bully, for sure.
She got a
That's actually
confession
how
out
I'm
of
known. You know? People really think
Cynthia, the big bully on campus here.
We'll have bruises. I do think that the Chiefs will score points. In fact, the Kansas City Chiefs, since Patrick Mahomes arrived, when they play the #1 scoring defense, which the Bills have, they score 31 points.
No!
I also believe the Buffalo Bills will score more points than that. That's why I have the Buffalo Bills winning this one 34-31. And I'm just looking at this Chiefs defense and the struggles that they've had against some #1 wide receivers. And they got two pretty good ones that they're playing against. It wasn't too long ago when Devontae Adams had 124 yards and 2 scores. We go back a few weeks. Mike Evans had 8 catches, 103 yards, and 2 scores. Michael Pittman Jr. had 72 yards, and they only threw for 200 yards to the Colts in that game. It's been tough for them to stop #1 wideouts. I'm glad Harrison Butker's back. I'm glad that the Chiefs are good. I just don't think they're as good as Buffalo right now. They lose by a field goal.
I agree. I'm going Bills as well.
Yeah.
And Sin, I did have a 1-point game earlier. I think I had 31-30 or something like that. But I decided to change it. And, you know, I had all of these beautiful points about defense and how the Bills' defense is credible. And Patrick just deflated that balloon. But you know what? I'm going to talk about it anyways. Listen to this, okay? The Bills' defense, second in total defense, first in scoring, second in rushing, fourth in passing, first in turnovers. We get these incredible research packets. They're like 100 pages long. And every single front page of each game, you have these color-coded numbers. And if they're green, that means the team's very good. Bills across the board in defense, every single thing is just green. Everywhere.
How come you're not picking on them, Cynthia, like you did with me? You're all by yourself. This is a prime number here.
I get Patrick. Well, listen, I don't need to pick on anyone because I'm a prime number with Patrick Mahomes at home.
Yeah,
so
it's not bad.
I mean, I don't even need to speak about that.
complain.
Like it is what it is.
Oh, he wants that quarterback controversy. Okay, Sunday Night Football. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites. Cynthia, do the Cowboys cover this number?
They do. I think it's 23-21. They don't win.
Okay.
But the Eagles win, but just by 2 points. I think this is one that I'm really monitoring to see what's going on in these injury reports. I want to know, like, how healthy exactly Micah Parsons is. Is he totally okay? These are things that really matter in this matchup. When I'm looking at this, what Cooper Rush has done so well is play smart football. He's the only qualified quarterback to not turn the ball over yet, and that's what's driving such a great turnover differential for this team. He's letting that great defense win for him. So if he can't do that as successfully, it's going to be a problem. So right now, 23-21. I do think this is an interesting point in that whole, like, are the Eagles going to be 17-0, things like that. Like these interesting, this is an inflection point for that.
They keep winning, the pressure builds.
Right. It's a little early for that, but their schedule the next 4 weeks is easy. And I think they do win this game. I think they win it 24-20. I think it's close.
It's only 4.
But Jalen Hurts has been making such big plays. He's developed as a passer. When you look at last week's game against Arizona, I know it was close, but what you saw from Jalen Jalen Hurts on 3rd and long situations. This is him making plays as a passer, rolling out, throwing across his body on 3rd and 13. These are the types of plays that everyone kind of told us before the season, but what about when they get in 3rd and long? What if they're not leading? That's all arm strength. That's under pressure. Then you flip to the 4th quarter. Heavy blitz scenario, 3rd and 11. They come after him. They hit him. He knows what to do before the snap. And he gets Goddard, who's been incredible this year, by the way. And so to me, Jalen Hurts has taken a next step in terms of his pocket passing, in terms of his playmaking. Cooper Rush is no Jalen Hurts. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if anyone would think Cooper Rush is.
No, I mean, plus you gave me some information on Cooper Rush before about his high school team. Cynthia's got some inside info.
Well,
He went to a school near mine.
There's the QB win community, and they feel great about Cooper Rush. The only thing I disagree with you guys about this game is I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to crest 20 points. I see the Eagles winning this game 24-13 because it's time to have that Cooper Rush discussion. I know quarterback wins are a thing, but Cooper Rush is yet to throw for 250 yards in a single game this season. And in terms of the way things break down, the only team to get pressure with 4 guys and get sacks with 4 guys the only other team than Dallas that's got more than 12 is the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And Cooper Rush is only completing 55% of his passes, yet less than 6 yards an attempt when the opponent doesn't blitz.
Okay,
I don't think that the Eagles will have to blitz, and I just don't see Dallas even getting to 20 in this game.
Wow. Okay, so no quarterback controversy for Jerry Jones then, huh?
Or any
I like that
rational
you're pushing that.
person.
I like that Rachel wants it. I like that Rachel wants it.
It can end nice
Of course I want it. I want the chaos.
Fun.
I want the fun clips to watch on Twitter. The Kelsey brothers have a new podcast. I don't know if you guys have seen these clips. Yes, it's very good. And the 2 brothers were arguing about who deserves the Sunday night slot. And honestly, both of them. I feel like they are so equal in how much fun they're going to be. And that's what I want to talk about. I'm taking the Eagles because right now they are having the most fun. I've got them beating the Cowboys 24-21. They've got the Batman thing happening. They just look like they are having a blast. Like I said, as they keep on winning, that pressure to have the flawless record is going to mount. But I like the Eagles. I really just want this to happen.
Immaculate vibes.
Immaculate vibes. Just good vibes all around. Woo, it's time for Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz. The Giants are 4-1 against the spread this year. They are 6-point dogs against Baltimore. Sin, who do you like in this one?
I have a 5-point win for Baltimore, so Giants keeping it closer. I love what the Giants have done here, but I want to point out that although this Lamar Jackson blitzing thing is confounding for me. It started off the season being very strong in it, and now it's sort of dwindled. And then when I look to see, this is the team, the Ravens, they blitz the second most often. And it's going to be interesting. Sorry, the Giants blitz second most often. You know why? They have Wink there. Wink's doing all the orchestrating of that. He's very familiar with Lamar Jackson. So
sure.
I'm curious to see if the blitz trend that we've seen will hold from the beginning of the season or what we've seen for the past 2 games, whereas the efficiency against that blitz has not been the same. So I'm curious who we're going to see here. Good against pressure? Not so good? What is it?
I guess I'm saying good because we're kind of 2 sides of the same coin. I'm on the other side. I mean, Lamar Jackson's numbers overall this year against the blitz have been great. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, I think 8.4 yards per attempt. That's top 5. And there's this whole idea that, like, Wink Martindale, he's seen Lamar Jackson.
Come on,
in
he's got to know
practice
some stuff.
Okay, but they know that about Wink Martindale. They know the most about Wink Martindale. You know what they did? They told him, you're not allowed back in the building. Bye. And I know he's a great defensive coordinator.
Doesn't that make him mad, though?
I'm
Revenge.
saying it goes both ways, and it comes down to...
Revenge.
I get it. It comes down to talent, though. And to me, the Ravens are more talented. I'm a little worried, though, Rashad Bateman's not going to be active for this game. He is officially out, and that limits them. But the running game has been better for the Ravens the last couple of weeks.
And Mark Andrews is still there, so...
He's
That's
the most
still
important.
The straw.
And it was all Mark Andrews, everything. You know, this guy's been in the league for a few years now. People have seen a lot of him. There was discussion in Baltimore about whether or not he should be brought back. I'm talking about Wink Martindale. I'm not talking about Lamar Jackson.
Wink taking some strays.
Yeah, I was saying Wink is good. You two
He is great. He is great.
Nope, not it.
He's
not me,
spectacular.
Wink. If you're in the building still watching, wasn't me.
But there's been so much figured him out conversation about the other guy. I think it's fair to have it about the defensive coordinator that, as Greg mentioned, Greg waved emphatically, by the way, when he said bye-bye. That's what Baltimore
and threw his head back and went,
did to Wink. But I think they will blitz Lamar. And as Cynthia mentioned, the season-long trends of Lamar against the blitz are almost exactly the same as Lamar's 2019 season when he won the MVP. In fact, his passer rating against the blitz is 117. It was 117 back then. So there's a trend. I think we get some deep shots, some deep opportunity for Devin Duvernay. It's a blowout. For me. I've got Baltimore winning 31-13.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm going to take the Giants. I'm taking the upset here over the Ravens just by one. Okay, I'm not fully confident. Let's not get crazy. I don't think it really matters what Wink knows and what they know about Wink because the Ravens don't really know how to close. Listen to this. The Ravens are 3-2 despite trailing for only 11 minutes and 15 seconds in 2022. That is an insane number. What?
Was that O Canada?
You guys both made
I
like
love
a
that.
little.
I thought I heard O Canada.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have two versions of O Canada.
I thought I was hearing O Canada. That's why I was like, wait.
Thank you. I'm going Giants, okay? And like I said, Brian Dable, hell of a handshake, okay? He's got some power behind that.
I'm a big fan. He's hilarious.
I'm a huge fan.
I
love
that,
blowing out the budget that we did to get such a great singer from Canada. It's just beautiful.
Just watch it was me, actually. They're just paying me to sing in the background. Okay, I have been gone for a couple weeks, so someone needs to catch me up. Is Greg still all in on Geno Smith?
He better be.
There's a question.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Geno keeps moving. Geno throws, reaching up, making a catch. Let's go! What a beautiful pass. Geno Smith, an absolutely perfect pass, playing like a magician.
Entire nation, sure.
You guys just missed them ridiculing me for being from Canada.
No, we love
Naming Canadians.
What do you say it when you're on camera, huh? Greg, let's get your pick here. Cardinals favored by 2.5. Talk about Geno. We all know it's
Okay,
coming.
I will, because we actually
wrote
haven't
me off.
that much
I ain't
on
right
this
back,
show,
though.
and yet I'm picking the Cardinals in this game. I just got to get that part out of the way. But let's get to the Geno part of it all, because I want to show you what he's been doing the last few weeks when he's on the run. Like, I didn't know Geno Smith kind of had this playmaking gene in his bag where he just feels very comfortable moving in the pocket. This throw to DK Metcalf was great. He had another throw where he's running all the way to the left. He doesn't care if there's double coverage there. Geno Smith is basically right there with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Like, those are the three totems of quarterback excellence in the NFL. Look at that throw to the left. That's the one I didn't even know was in his bag. And yet they're 2-3. Can you help us out, Pete Carroll? They're basically 31st or dead last in every single defensive category. So if Geno's playing at this level and they're still losing games, it's kind of hard to pick the Seahawks. So I'm taking the Cardinals. It just feels bad.
Yeah,
33
like we
to
should
30.
take the Seahawks. But.
Yeah, 33-30, a lot of points.
Okay, so
Close game.
27-25 in favor of the Cardinals, but I have some really cool stat on Tyler Lockett to go with yours because I wasn't sure we were going with Geno, but I knew it was going to be good. Tyler Lockett has adjusted his speed more than any other highly targeted wide receiver, meaning of the guys who you think of, the guys who you'd play in fantasy, he has changed his speed on his routes more this season than ever before. So I just had to get that stat out there.
Great stat.
Right? He's adjusting to the routes. He's helping Geno.
He is helping Geno.
I mean,
He's making him look good.
Geno has two amazing receivers. It annoys me that, like, for the 8th straight year, we say Tyler Lockett's underrated. At some point, he should just stop being underrated.
Did I say he was underrated?
No, not you.
Okay, I was
I'm
like,
just
I
saying,
just said I had a cool
like,
stat on him.
Every week, it's like, this guy's underrated. Like, you should rate him properly.
I love that, Tim.
I think he's rated. I was just showing what's
good.
Yeah.
You know,
We got to get at the official raters. We have to find out who's doing the actual rating. I am going to say that I believe in Geno more than Greg because I'm taking the Seahawks.
Let's go.
This doesn't feel right.
I do like the opportunity for Kenneth Walker, who's actually, in terms of breaking tackles per carry, in the top 2 in the league. And we finally get to see Kenneth Walker. Hope Rashad Penny makes a full recovery. But I believe in this Seahawks ground game, even against the top 5 rushing defense, the problem that I see for Arizona is they are dead last in the NFL in sacks. And as Greg pointed out in those Geno highlights, if Geno has clean feet, it's dimes everywhere. The dude's crushing. I cannot pick against Geno Smith.
Can we get you to change?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm
I feel
going-
weird.
I'm
I
going
didn't put
Seahawks.
30 points on the board.
I have the exact same score as Patrick as well, 31-30.
Whoa.
We're feeling really confident about this game. Listen, I know the Seahawks defense is playing really bad. I think the last 2 games, Lions and Saints, they put up 84 points. But guess what? Geno and that offense put 80 points up. So let's go. They can fight back.
I think I'm turning into a Seahawks fan, and I'm like feeling their pain. And it's like they're putting up 32 on the Saints. That's not worth the win. They put up 40. They need 48 to beat your Lions. It's just like a little much.
How much time do we have left in this show? I feel like we could change this pick. Let's check back in. We'll discuss on the commercial break coming up, and we'll check back in at the end of the show, see if we can change Greg's mind. City over there.
Yeah, have a good time.
What's happening?
There was this other one before with this one woman who was just absolutely hilarious. I don't know where she went, but I loved that fan.
Okay, good news for the Broncos. They have had a ton of time since that Thursday night disaster to figure things out. 4.5-point dogs against the Chargers. Greg, who do you like in this one?
I love the Broncos to keep this close. I have the Chargers winning 19-17, but I feel stronger that the Broncos will either keep it closer one and that the score will be very low than anything else because the Broncos defense is getting it done. This was the whole idea of bringing Russell Wilson to Denver is like, oh, it's actually a good team. There's good skill position players and the defense balls out. Patrick Surtain is one of, if not the best cornerbacks in the league. They're probably getting Justin Simmons back this week. They're all pro safety. Their pass rush has been getting pressure at a top 5 rate. Draymond Jones, all these guys. Bradley Chubb's playing great. So the Chargers offense has problems. And we know the Broncos offense has problems, but I'm sick of talking about that. So I think it's going to be another low-scoring, primetime Broncos game that's close.
I'm a little bit more optimistic than you. I have kind of the same theory, right? 26-22. The Chargers win this one for me. But I was looking to see how the Chargers have adapted since losing Rashawn Slater, their left tackle. No longer there. He's gone for the season, which is unfortunate. But Austin Eckler and the short passes, the way that Justin Herbert's been able to adapt and really rely on that, lean on that, especially creating touchdowns. I mean, Austin Eckler's just crushing in the red area so far. So I think those are going to be a really big key for all the reasons that you just talked about. This is a defense that you have to respect in so many different ways. Keenan Allen, I don't know what's going on there. It seems like it's a lot of injury. It's just not going to be a good thing.
I never see any open receivers when I watch the Chargers. That bothers me.
Well, if Keenan Allen were there, you would probably see more openness because it would be a lot harder to defend both Keenan and Mike Williams than it would be if there weren't, right? So I just respect this defense a ton, but I think Austin Eckler is kind of the safety valve.
Yeah, he's really what made it go. The sole reason that they beat the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion. I also have the Chargers winning this game. I am with Greg in that it's going to be a low-scoring affair, but it's not going to be what it was for this Broncos offense in the past few weeks. I feel Russell Wilson getting better. I know that injection he got in the shoulder makes me feel more confident, but the problem is this Chargers pass rush, especially Khalil Mack, who has had a solid, sneakily solid start to the season where I think he creates problems for Russ when he is actually going to get a chance to finally start doing his Russ thing. Here comes the Chargers pass rush, and it's going to highlight its ability to get to the quarterback in this particular week. So I got the Chargers in a low-scoring game.
Is Russ ever going to start doing the
right,
Russ
I know
thing?
Clayvon's saying that he's going to get back. He has him scoring 16 points.
Well, just not this week.
I just don't think it's this week either. I am taking the Chargers as well, 27-21. On top of him, like maybe being a little banged up and all of that stuff, and I know we got to give credit where credit's due to the Broncos defense. I don't think that there's a more scrutinized player in the NFL right now than Russell Wilson. Yeah. And by way, the Broncos.
I think it's gone too far.
It's just so intense. Yeah. And I don't know why. I get he's a little quirky. Let's ride. And then the Subway commercial, who could forget?
You did a good job.
The fact that he's been in primetime so much, I think is part of it.
But that's on top of it. Yeah. And this is another primetime game. He knows so many people are going to be watching. Like, if I were out, I'd just be like, oh, again? Like, let me just do my thing in normal time, not prime time. I'm going Chargers.
They have had a long time, though, at least. They have had, from Thursday to Sunday, it's like a baby bye, sort of, right? So you've had a lot more days to get healthier, a lot more days to kind of find your flow. Maybe they changed practice schedules. I'm sure they don't have the same as a regular week. So maybe that'll...
Yeah.
And we all have within one score. Like we're a KJ Hamler bomb away from the Broncos winning this game.
It can happen.
KJ, hopefully he's in a better mood.
I think we can all agree that sweeps are boring. It's kind of boring when we're all on the same page. So let's check in on where we are at when we go.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, did we need to show this? This is what happens when we go solo on a pick. Greg crushing it at 4-2.
Yeah.
Straybon right at 500. Sin and I.
Not so much. We're exactly the same percentage.
Not doing so hot. But there's still time. At least you know what? You know what I see?
I've never come in first in the actual picks. This is my goal. Greg needs to come in first.
You know what I see, guys, under my number?
What is that?
6. 6 times I've stuck my neck out, just trying to really make a difference in the world. Okay? And you guys Just not
Wait,
brave.
Doing
hold
it
on.
for the show.
No,
It's
no,
better
no,
for
brave.
the
You
show.
did
You did it 8
cumulative, though,
times.
Rachel.
You did it 8 times. Wait, I think you did it 8.
You're right.
You did
You're
it
right.
8 times,
It is
right?
better for the show.
You won 2 and you lose.
Better than I did.
Better. It means you did it 8 times.
And it means there's
Did you
no
guys all
meme
do it
alert,
the
and
same-
so we
is that
don't
what
get
it
the.
Well, you also
We don't
left
get
us
the
for 2
free
weeks, so maybe you didn't.
Okay, we've got another Just Greg this week. Opportunity for you to come down with the rest of us. You
See,
like
this
the
is
Patriots?
this is what I'm saying here. I'm saving
I
the
don't hate
rest of
that.
the show. There's no meme alert. It's a Just Greg. The Patriots are winning this game. I feel great about it, too. We don't know if Mac Jones is playing. Doesn't matter because Ramondre Stevenson is 24-23 Browns. This Browns run defense is soft. They can't tackle. They're confused. They'll put 8 men in the box, and other teams still run through them. Now they got to go against the Patriots, who have been really good with their power running scheme. I love Ramondre Stevenson. He's a 3-down back. The Browns are always confused. They lead the league in like, oh, wait, what happened there? How come I thought you had him? And then Jadeveon Clowney's out this week. Denzel Ward. This is a nice little Just Greg. I'm glad to be on this.
I don't hate it.
Just Greg.
It's not like my score's super lopsided. It looks like all of us
Very
are within
close.
3 points.
It's kind of us. Yeah, everyone's kind of in the same. Wait, why did Greg get the spotlight in this one? We all have it very close. Okay, Sin, Jags Colts. Jags won 24-0 in week 2, but you like the Colts at home, breaking this
Prime
weird
number.
little curse that's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, they're an interesting team, 22-21, but Jonathan Taylor is probably going to be something that, look, I don't know if he's 100% anything, right? I would love to have some little meter that would tell me just how injured everyone was so I could at least put it into the model a little bit more accurately.
Quantifiable.
At least self-rating maybe? Like, are you a 7 out of 10, sir? Like, please help me out here. But I think that will be a difference. We've seen a lot of interesting results from the Jags. They have a great game plan, but we have seen some also not so great things as well. So it's not like it's not like I'm saying that they're going to upset one of the, 3 best teams in the league. These division games are really toss-ups.
Okay, well, we've hit on a couple sweeps already. Big old meme alert opportunity right here. Get your cameras out, get your screen grabs. We're all taking the Niners, the Packers, the Vikings.
Some of these are close, though.
The Bengals, the Rams, and the Bucks this week. Although I do like the Saints and the Jets.
Right. No respect for Andy Dalton. I know they're going to be short a couple wide receivers, but that Saints one
yeah,
at home.
I even think,
That's how people take it, though. They're like, you hate all of these teams.
Yeah, you've never chosen our team. Bright and early on Sunday. In the meantime, here's what Cynthia's model has as the top win projections this week. I don't know that there are any massive surprises here, including at the top, Bucks over the Steelers.
I do want to give like a little love to Kenny Pickett here because remember during the draft process we talked about are his hands too small? Can he throw the deep ball, etc.
That sounded exactly like
Why did
Greg.
everyone talk like that? That's what
I mean,
And it rhymed, too.
it is exactly what people were talking like. If you think I'm wrong, we could go back and find a lot of
I think he looks pretty good.
He was throwing outside the numbers. That's a harder pass to throw, and he was completing them. And by the way, he was under a ton of pressure in a very unfavorable game script and still completing these hard passes. I don't think that the challenge gets any easier against the Bucks, but if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm excited and encouraged, and there's a lot of things to be happy about here.
There you go. I
Just
like
maybe
it.
not the outcome of this game.
Yeah.
Credit where small hand credit is due.
I have small hands too.
To call it in the air. Greg, we talked about a game Cynthia's very confident in. What is one you are not so sure about this week? One that could go either way.
Okay, she's confident in Falcons 49ers being very heavy. I'm to the 49ers. I'm not. I think
Well,
the
I was like,
Falcons
heavy.
are spicy, and I think the Falcons are going to keep this game really close. Like their running game, very spicy. They're one of the few teams I think could run on San Francisco, who's been on this 2-game road trip where they're hanging out in West Virginia for the week, and they lost Nick Bosa. Their entire Week 1 starting defensive line is out. That's pretty problematic. And the Falcons aren't just like a little bit spicy. They're like, I'm going to go to Koreatown and you better not order spicy. You better order medium because even medium is spicy. That's what they are.
I like if you see what Dean P says about like after it, he credits his wife for keeping him from saying anything wrong. She was my volleyball coach growing up, so I can tell you she is one heck of a lady.
He's pretty spicy.
I love it. Melody helped him out, you know?
There you go.
I'm looking at this Jags-Colts game, and there's just not a lot of things for me to feel great about because I picked the Jags running away from the Texans last week, but for the second week in a row, Trevor Lawrence really had some problems. The past couple of weeks, he's completing 51% of his passes. He's got 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. His passer rating has dropped almost 40 points. And there's some balls that had chances for scores that were just airmailed or going into the dirt. And I would love to pick the Jags, and I did pick the Jags.
You did.
But do I feel great about it?
No, you don't.
Rachel, I don't.
All of our scores are pretty close, especially Cynthia's, just by 1 point. Okay, call me spicy.
Spicy.
Let's
Spicy.
talk about this game for a second. I could see there is a world in which the Jets upset the Packers.
I'm with you.
Okay?
I'm with
We
you
have the same
We've
score.
got a couple of us have close scores. I have 27-24. Listen, the Packers blew it in London with the Giants coming back. Just the week before, the Patriots, with 2 backup quarterbacks, took this team into overtime. They have not really been coming out strong. I know the Packers usually hit it eventually and they get rolling. I just don't know. I think that I'm leaving the door open.
I think pre-game, Aaron's not going to come talk to you this week instead of last week. You know, you did a little interview with him. Oh wait, it wasn't him. It was
the doppelganger. But maybe if it was the real Aaron, he would have gotten a good luck charm.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
How about that? Sin, do you have
I think this Dallas and Philadelphia game could be one where I think we could see something strange happen, like just a coin flip to me. I do think that the Eagles come out on top, but I only have a 2-point win in this matchup. I know that the big playability is there on side of the Eagles, which is why I have the Eagles winning, but this defense feels a little scary. And if I'm Jalen Hurts and we saw what happened, remember the beginning of that Jags game and you saw a lot of interesting interceptions? I know that the weather was a factor there, and that doesn't necessarily figure to be the case here, but there's something about these two hate each other. These teams do not like each other. It is an interesting rivalry. This is a really good, hyped up defense.
Yes.
This one feels a little, my gut's giving me a little something on that one.